Hey everyone, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. And if you happen to be new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that like button, hit that sub button, make sure you're not missing any of the content that we have coming out. Now this week is going to be closing out the Future State event. So you're not going to be missing any of the content that we have coming out, because today's video is Superman versus Imperious Lex, issue number 2. Now if you haven't been keeping up with this line, go ahead and check out the link in my description, as well as at the top of this video. It'll get you completely caught up on everything Future State related. Now, where we last left off, Lex Luthor was brought into the United Planets, and the ambassador to go essentially do a survey is none other than Lois Lane, with Superman accompanying behind her. And with that being said, let's dive into this issue. Alright guys, so issue number 2 picks us up as Lois and Clark are pulling into Lexar, which is Lex's essentially planet that he's a dictator over. And the conversation that they're having is Superman telling her that he doesn't want her to go down there alone, to put her in that kind of danger, because who knows what Lex is actually up to. But at the end of the day, this is her job, and Superman is just the guest along with her. Plus, there is a red sun outside, which means he would essentially be no use to anybody after a couple of minutes. And so while she goes down there, Superman decides that he's going to try to reprogram some of Lex's bots, because with them being so easy to disable, he thinks maybe they have some other design flaws. And we see Lois Lane make her descent, landing on the ground not knowing what to expect, because like we said, this is Lex Luthor, so who knows what he has up his sleeve waiting, only for her to see a giant welcome party with a giant banner that says "Welcome United Planets." And it seems that everybody is super ecstatic to have her here. And Lex Luthor does his greetings and makes it seem like he is just so cheerful and so happy for everybody to be there, for the United Planets to be there. And this is where we see them land their ship and start to survey to see what the planet has to offer everybody else. Not only that, but to also see what the planet is lacking and what the people need. And so as they do that, he gives Lois Lane a tour of everything going on. And then we cut over to Superman on Lexor's moon, messing with all of these robots, trying to figure out exactly how they tick. And he's doing this in the dark hours when the sun is hidden and he has the opportunity to be outside of the ship where he's not protected. And then we see Lex showing her the robotics factory that Clark Kent had destroyed, saying, you know, this was the only source of income, we're so helpless now without it. But he also fails to mention how they were constantly taking everything over and pillaging other planets for all of their resources. And as they sit down and go over the contracts for the United Planets, one of the surveyors comes in and lets her know that while they were out there digging, they found something that's going to change everything. They found deuterium crystals, mountains full of them, and these crystals amplify energy. A single harvest could solve energy crises for years to come. This is probably the most valuable mineral discovery to ever existed. And of course, Lex Luthor sees the money, but he also forgets that he just signed a contract with the United Planets. So they're sharing everything. So all of these minerals, well, yes, some of them are going to stay here on planet, it's going to help a lot of other planets out that are within the United Planets circle. And so these minerals are going to go out to those people, and whatever's on their planet is going to be sent to help Lexar with whatever they need. Whatever, you know, minerals or whatever fruits or whatever it may be trade-wise that Lexar needs that they don't already have. And so he gets really excited at first, but then Lois Lane reminds him that he's no longer in this. And this is when he tries to finagle his way out of the United Planets. Like, it hasn't been officially signed yet, so they could technically just call it a day and problem solved. And while Lois Lane, you know, she really does love the idea. She doesn't like Lex Luthor to begin with, and didn't think he should have been in the United Planets, but ended up vouching for him anyway because of the people. The whole reason this started was because of the people, because the people of Lexar just don't know any better. They've been following a dictator for so long, they just believe this is how it is. this is the way it should be. And that Lex, he's doing everything right. He's always coming out 100. But Lex doesn't take this as an answer. He doesn't like being told no, and so his response is to kill all the surveyors. And then they lock up Lois Lane, not allowing her to leave the palace until she agrees to release Lexor, or until she starves to death, whichever comes first. And he knows that Superman's gonna be on his way, and he's planning for that. And so we pick up on Lexar's moon, with Superman messing with all these things as the red sun comes up over the horizon. And so he decides to go back inside and check on Lois, see how she's doing, see how the operation's going, only for him to see the surveying team dead on the ground and everything in disarray. And on the local news for Lexar, he's pushing through the media that this is actually what they want now, even though they were reporting hours ago that they wanted the United Planets and they were happy about it. Now he's telling the people that they're not happy about it. And the anchor questions Lex Luthor on this, only for us to see him completely incinerated for even questioning Lex Luthor to begin with. And this is when Superman makes his arrival on planet to see the surveying team just beaten to crap, and Lex Luthor shows up, but also with an army of all his people, because to them Superman is the enemy, because Lex told all of them that he's the enemy. He's the one that blew up the robotics plant that stopped them from flourishing as a nation, from pillaging other planets. And so in his weakened state, he has them all attack, knowing that he's not going to hurt all of these people, and they hold him down. They hold him down as best they can until Lex Luthor decides he wants a piece of the man in blue and red, and they start going at it, duking it out, but Superman's just getting rung. Like, this red sun just doesn't do him any good. But this is when, out of left field, we see Lois Lane, and she gives him a good deck, and they kind of just leave. It kind of ends after that. Like, Lex just doesn't want any after that. And later on in the day, we see the news just telling us that they got another victory. That Lex gave them another victory, expelling the villain Superman from the world and banishing the United Nations from Lexar, and saying that this is just the beginning. Lexar stands alone and it's open for business because now they have a super awesome mineral. And this is when Lex asks his personal robot how many crystals they've sold this day, and then he's told none, because what Superman did is took a whole bunch of those crystals and dispersed them among the galaxy. So no one is actually buying it because it's not that popular anymore. It's not that rare. These guys have it and it can last years, so they don't need abundance and abundance and abundance of it. They just need a little bit for their nation to live and to thrive with this energy source, essentially undercutting Lex Luthor. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I personally did enjoy this. This was very Superman Lex Luthor, 1v1 on each other. How are we going to outsmart one another? How am I going to do this without just simply throwing you off a building? Really having to see Superman go toe-to-toe with one of the smartest individuals in the DC universe. And it's written really well to where you see Lex Luthor's just toying with him, but he gets so egotistical and so cocky that he misses that one step and loses his queen and ends up in check. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you have not yet, please do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, go check out Comic Breakdown and more podcasts available on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We talk about all the weekly issues to include King in Black, DC Comics, everything. We got you covered. We talk more in depth about it, as well as talking about WandaVision, and soon we'll be talking about Winter Soldier and Falcon, or Falcon and Winter Soldier, along with whatever other news is coming out in the comic book gaming world, so on and so forth. So be sure to check that out, and until the next video.